guys? Back at it again with another video. I know y'all gonna complain that my hands be shaking and everything, but I forgot the tripod.
It's all good, you know.
But we got the original, the man himself.
Bro, it took me forever to finally get another first place win with Brandon. Not that Brandon sucks or anything like that, because Brandon is an amazing deck. But we have some really confident duelists around here. Shout out to Kyle, shout out to Sko, shout out to Matt, Landon, shout out to Chris, shout out to Noah, bro. Shout out to all the C4 crew. These guys are really great duelists.
Appreciate you.
We out here. Brandon has done it again, bro. So here's the updated list. This is for Fire format, bro. Fire Kings, Snake Eyes. That deck is really really powerful, but it's one of our easier matchups.
Bad.
So obviously, the boy himself, Allure Jester, Despia. Searcher, you need that. It's best card, you know. 3 Fallen of Albaz. Some people like the 2 ratio. I think that 3 is the right way to go. They're like 2's too little. You want to see him. You're not mad when you see him in hand because you have stuff like Blazing Cartesia. And you don't want to run out of resources, because when you do, you feel like the dumbest person in the world when you can't resolve Branded Fusion to not even lose it to Ash. Also, side note, Ash is not as prevalent. It's still something you have to worry about. But usually going game 1, people are not hand trapping. It's a lot of board breakers. People are scared of Snake Eyes just because they can play through a lot of hand traps. But Ash is not the biggest issue now. Again, as a competent Branded player, we can play through it, but don't have to worry about it as much. 2 Blazing Cartesia and 1 Guiding Quem. I think this is the right number. I don't think you want too many of her. I don't think another Quem is necessary. I think 1 is fine. She does what she needs to do. And if they get rid of her, it's usually after you've already gotten a lot of use out of her. Quem is the best card in the Branded deck. Don't get me wrong. Her ability to dump cards that you need, and her ability to bring back people like Mirror Jade, bringing back McCourier when you need an extra negate on the field, because Brandon doesn't set up negates. But McCourier is really nice to have. So I think 1 is fine. If you want to do Branded Synchro, that's a whole different story. That'll be another video if I can top with that one. That one you need 3, and if you got money to spend on it, absolutely. But 1 is just fine. 2 Cartesia is fine. As far as All Beyond, I'm playing 2 now. I think 3 is too many. I've seen a few builds doing 3. I think his Upstart effect is great. Sending for cost is really nice on Branded spells and Fallen of Albaz. It can really actually set your plays up to go with dumping Fallen of Albaz so you can special summon Blazing Cartesia, or dumping the Branded opening so you have protection, or sending a Retribution, and doing all that while also drawing you a card and sending himself back so you can see him again. It's great. So you really don't need more than 2. I think if you play 1, you're not hurting yourself. I think you're playing 2, you're playing pretty smart. 3 is too many. 1 McCourier, I think 1 McCourier is fine. You're searching for the hand trap, or you're banishing it for the search. I think the hand trap effect is really great. Sometimes it helps against Nib. Sometimes your last summon is right before you get McCourier, so you end up not missing out on it. But Nib doesn't hurt you as bad. Nib has never really hurt Branded that much because we have so much graveyard effects. But McCourier could save you against Nib if you get Branded lost. We are playing. We are playing Maximus. We do play Nadir Servant in this build. I love playing lore cards anyways, but Maximus will set you up with a lot of plays. It will set up your gimmick line, and it'll set you up for follow-up. It'll set you up to even start your combo if you get ashed on the Branded Fusion. Tragedy, search effect is pretty nice. The banish effect is probably a little bit better to get your Branded spells back, but Tragedy is Tragedy. We already know what it does, and we enjoy him. I cut ad libitum for a very long time. I felt like Guardian Chimera wasn't as effective as I needed it to be, and Quem served the same purpose that ad libitum did, but I'm actually appreciating having him in deck now. He's another Tragedy target. being able to bring back a Banish, Mirror Jade, if you lose it off of SP Little Knight, or bringing back just any Despia, like you lose Quem, bring back Quem with Tragedy, with Ad Libitum. So it's like certain interactions like that, I think it's very important to have him in there. As far as Bestials, people can talk crazy about this. I played 2 Lebellion, 1 Serenir.
Crazy, dog.
Bro, my last build had 3 with 1 Serenir, 1 Druid Worm, and 1 Magnamut, and it was just ridiculous. But I felt so comfortable and happy having 2 Lebellion. I think that 1 does what it needs to do, but 2 being able to have that extra placing effect, because it's about the placing. It's gonna drop the Albion for you when you summon it and it's in your hand, or it's in graveyard off of Branded Fusion. But really, just being able to place the Branded Lost is so nice. Serenir does exactly what Serenir needs to do. It's gonna send the cards you need, and it's gonna banish a monster you want. Sometimes it'll banish your Mercurier and get you that effect. Sometimes it'll banish your Tragedy and get that effect. So we just need the 1 and it's fine. We do play the Goon. Goon. I only used him once, and it's a card that I side. In my side deck, I have some extra deck monsters, so I don't mind to side out Dragoon because I am gonna put another monster in that's just as good, and I don't usually brick on the Dark Magician. I hate to be that guy. I fought against it for months. I stood against it. I still stand against it, but Gimmick Puppet is here to stay, so you might as well play him.
Bro.
He will win you so many games. He is cheeky, he is gimmicky, I do not like him. He's in my deck.
Bro, I told you. That's why I didn't want to have this deck profile. Because this all this is Puppet Turbo.
I don't think
I told you,
Puppet
bro.
Turbo is what this is. I think that sometimes that's what you gotta do, but I think this branded deck is a little bit more than just Gimmick Puppet Lock. We're going to spells. Obviously our bread and butter, Branded Fusion. Ain't much to say besides that I got ultis and I love them. Branded Opening. You will use it most of the time to get your Quem. You only play 1 Quem. You want to get her out there and then normal summon a Luber. They usually will not have 2 Imperms. They will usually only have 1. And when they see Quem, they will hit it because Quem is so powerful. So go ahead, use your Branded Openings, get your Quem out there, normal summon your Luber afterwards. It's very nice to have Quem out, and that's what it's for. I had stopped playing Fusion Deployment because I was playing a Synchro variant, but Fusion Deployment is a great card. It is needed. Go ahead, get your Fallen Owlsbaz out there, get Blazing Artesia. It's Ash bait. They usually won't Ash it, but if they don't Ash it, you just set up a lot of advantage because you have it. So always play your Fusion Deployments in your Branded Despia. I think Nadir Servant is great. I love it for lore reasons. I love it because Ash Blossom hits your Branded Fusion, you get Nadir Servant, and get the same combo. It's just a really good card. I play Super Polys in this deck, so setting off Garura and getting a draw as well also feels very nice. So do your Nadir Servants. I'm gonna get the quarter century rares for all of these cards soon, but we're giving it some time. The budget's not too hot. As far as branded spells, one-ofs. High Spirits, Branded Loss, and Branded in Red. High Spirits, because I play a higher amount of dragon monsters in this deck, it's very nice and being able to search out Quem or search out Mercurier or just any monster while also setting up the Albion line is very nice feeling. Branded Loss, second best card in the deck. People don't know how this card works. People get mad when this card works. And it's just a really good card to have. If you can get it on field, you always want it on field.
We know who gets mad the most.
Anybody? Yeah, my gosh. Fucking. I'm sorry. Brigham, bro. Brigham, we love you. You hate this card. Branded in Red. Branded in Red, I am not a fan of this format. Guardian Chimera is not as good against the Fire King matchup. Yes, you want to get rid of the island if you can, but I feel like there is another card, a tech card that I'm about to show you that is pretty good. It loses to the same cards that Branded in Red does, but I feel like it does so much more than Branded in Red does. Retribution, mandatory. It's just part of the combo, getting back your branded spells. Also, the effect to negate the special summon from spell and trap or monster effect is very good. It negates and destroys, and it's a counter trap, can't respond to it, and then on the follow-up turn, you get your branded fusion back. So if you want to set that, I think it's pretty good, especially if you have using what's his name? Maximus, you're usually dropping 2 monsters that are falling of Albas into graveyard, or you're somehow getting 2 in there, and you just shuffle those back into your extra deck, so you have those materials back to get into. But Retribution, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. The crazy tech. People are hating on this card. People don't play this card.
I told you not to play it.
Branded Banishment.
I don't even know why.
Branded Banishment is one of the best cards Branded can search. It is a better version of Branded in Red. It is a searchable Super Poly. Yes, it can be negated, but more often than not, you have Branded Loss, which means it can't be negated. So it targets a Despia or a level 8 or higher fusion monster, special summons it, then you can Super Poly by banishing. So being able to bring back a lost Mirror Jade and then wiping your opponent's board feels so nice. Being able to bring back Quem and wiping your opponent's board feels so nice. And doing that while also having Branded Lost on the field to get your search for your Mercurier. So your Mercurier's live, you got Mirror Jade live again. This card is so slept on. More often than not, I'm bringing this out and setting this instead of setting Branded or Red. So always, if you can, try it out. Just try it, my Branded players. Branded Banishment is such a good
I think you're crazy for that.
No, it loses, it loses the Bell. It loses DD Current, it loses the Bestials. So does Branded and Red, but it does so much more, in my opinion. Going on to just other cards, Super Poly. We love Super Poly. Everyone hates Super Poly. We had a debate about it getting banned. I think it should go to 2 if you want anything down, but Super Poly is at 3, so go ahead and play it at 3. Really good in this format. I think the decks that try to play around Super Poly set up subpar boards, and then Branded's engine handles the rest. So Super Poly, the mirror match, you're going to win. The Fire King match is gonna hurt their board. Same thing with the Snake Eyes, the Voiceless Voice. Oh my gosh, they hate that card. Going on to hand traps, we have Bell. This is a great card this format. I feel like people have stopped playing the Ash and have swapped out for the Bell. It's going to stop a lot of the plays that you're going up against.
I was just talking to Chris about that. I personally think that this is better than Ash right now.
This is definitely better than Ash right now. It's gonna make you win games. It's gonna stop the Firebird, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna stop him. It's gonna stop Fire King plays. It's gonna stop Branded plays. It's gonna stop a lot of plays that are just bringing back monsters from the graveyard, adding cards from the graveyard to hand, and stuff like that. Even Labyrinth less so, but also Labyrinth. Like, I've definitely used it against the Labyrinth matchup, and it slows down their engine a lot. If you're gonna play hand trap, this is the one you want to play.
So let me know in the comments if y'all like Ash or Bell this format.
I did 2 Imperm. I think that hand traps are not really good this format, but if you're gonna do one, you might as well do Imperm. You won't lose to triple attack, and it's gonna do exactly what it's supposed to, which is negate. Column negate is also hilarious because some people will forget what column you put it in. As far as anything else, I do not have thrust, so I do true triple attack, and then we do call by and gold sark. These cards do exactly what they're supposed to. Triple attack, you lose to Ash, draw 2, and you'll find something you need. You'll get the Nadir, you'll get the fusion deployment, so don't worry too much about it. Gold Sark, we do not like Droll when we use Gold Sark, but Branded doesn't lose to Droll, so like usually it's not an issue. So you can play Gold Sark. I think it's better than Foolish Burial, but that's up for debate. I think you're going to send Tragedy, you're going to send Mercurier more than you're going to send Serenir or Tragedy. So that's my mindset of it.
So that was the main. How many in the main, bro?
I think it's either 49 or 50.
This man, bro.
It's crazy. It's a lot. I know certain cards that I feel like I could cut, but I didn't want to cut. But Granted, it's a deck where you can have a lot more cards in your deck and help you find because it's the best deck in my opinion. Going on to extra deck.
Let me see that.
We got 2 Mirror Jade because it's mandatory. 2 Albion because it is mandatory. 1 Lubellion because you're gonna get it back anyways. You guys already know what these do. Shouldn't have to explain. Banishes. It sends for cost. Remember that it sends for cost. So even if you negate it, you still get the follow-up play. They're all beyond. You're gonna get him in there to search your branded spells, and Lubellion is gonna be your recursion to us. Sanctifier Dragon. We love him so much. He cannot be targeted. He cannot be targeted. People do not know that he cannot be targeted and will do so many things. SP tried to stop him, couldn't stop him. Chaos Angel tried to stop him, couldn't stop him. He cannot be targeted and he will bring out whatever you want. Gimmick Puppet, Raw Disciple, if you want to, if you're going for the lock place, that's fine and dandy. We can lock the board and just be Floodgate, win. But even stuff like the new U-Bell support, send Spirit of U-Bell off of the Granganol, special summon it. The fusion monster requires a U-Bell monster and any effect monsters, so that includes your Fallen of Albas that you summon back. So just keep that in mind, that all beyond the Sanctifier, yes, it's there to set up floodgates if you want to go that play, but the main purpose of the card, the reason the card was made the way it is to quick effect use Fallen of Albas. So keep that in mind. Titaniclad. It's gonna special summon your Despias, your Dogmaticas, and it's also going to special summon the Fallen of Albas. Add to hand as well, so you don't have to necessarily use the Ash on that. But also, just bringing him out himself makes a 37 body most of the time, and he cannot be affected by extra deck monsters that turn. So that's one of those points. All beyond the Sanctifier, summon a high level monster that's 2,500 attack or more, and you make a Titaniclad that can't be affected, and they're very hard to get over. So just keep those things in mind. Ride Under Striking. You are more likely than not going to send this off of your Mirror Jade effect so you can quick effect Fallen of Albas. But he also has a very great effect. He will negate an extra deck monster. That's a fusion, synchro, XYZs, or links. He will negate their activation, their activated effect. And then he will choose to return a card to the hand. You can return one of their monsters so they don't have it anymore for link summoning. But you can also return one of your own monsters. If you want a Luber back on your hand so you have follow-up, you can do that. So just keep that in mind. His effect in Graveyard is primarily what you're doing. Banish him to special summon Fallen of Albas as a quick effect. Despian Queritus, Masquerade. Despian Lula Lilith. Yes, a synchronist. We all know what she does. Queritus has saved you a million times. He's an easy monster to make, especially off of super poly targets, but also his ability to zero out a target is really important to save you. A lot of the Dexies formats are not using level 8 or higher fusions, so when they're going for that access code play, you're gonna zero him out and then you're gonna win. Or they're gonna out him with an effect that pops him or banishes him, and you're gonna special summon Fallen of Albas, which again is going to make you win. Masquerade, Tax Dragon.
We know what you do. We know what you do.
Pay 600. Pay. Despian Lula Lilith, it's a monster you can special summon off the Grand Ganol effect more often than not. But her main purpose is to special summon a light spellcaster with matching stats. So that's going to be your Quem, that's going to be your Blaze and Cartesian. So Maximus is usually going to dump her and set you up a lot of plays. So you're not going to see her on the field, you're probably going to see her in the graveyard, but she does do some stuff. She gains attack when a card leaves the extra deck, all your monsters will gain 500, and she non-targets and negates a face-up card. So that is an effect that does come up. Grand Ganol. We all know what Grand Ganol does. She sets up your gimmick lock. She sets up so many plays. A Blazing Artesia and a Lighter Dark. And then being able to banish her as cost to special summon Queritus or Lula Lilith or Quem or Proskinian. If you play Proskinian, that'll come later. She's a really good card. Mandatory in any branded deck. So definitely check her out. I do play Goon. and super poly targets. These do exactly what they're supposed to. Dragoon is something that I'm still up in the air about. It did come up once today. They even tried to summon Typhon, but I think, Rydrum to super poly the Typhon away, and then I just had Dragoon with a negate too. So Dragoon is very powerful. It's even more powerful if you play Shifter. If you consider playing Shifter, consider playing Dragoon, because Shifter Dragoon, people are not usually going to play through that. Garura, awesome effect to draw one card off of your leader servants. Also, best super poly target. Mud Dragon, second best super poly target, and gives you some protection.
That's the extra deck, bro.
That's the extra deck.
So you give me a quick rundown of the side deck now, man.
The side deck, that's the one where stuff gets interesting. We have 3 Dark Ruler No Mores, if I can grab 3. Board Breakers are great this format. Dark Ruler No More is great this format. 3 DD Crow. DD Crow serves a similar purpose as Bell, but can stop these spells and these other monsters that you just want to get out the way. Usually they don't have a way to recur their banish, so go ahead and banish it and it will do great for you. Cosmic, because there is back row decks, there are back row cards you want to get rid of. Centurion, the thing about Centurion is use the effect of Cosmic Cyclone to banish as they're trying to special summon it from the back row. Don't activate it before they do that, because it's a quick effect. So they'll just chain it to get it out, and then you'll waste 1,000 life points. Time your cards correctly. We have 2 Droll, because Droll does stuff, but not as much as I would like. And then I play Branded Beast as an extra form of back row that's searchable. That's where your Bestial Balion and having more than one is nice. But it's just a piece of tech that I like to keep in there. Came up, I think, maybe once today, so not too crazy. The crazy stuff is the crazy stuff. Guardian Chimera, because back row hate. That is really the only purpose. I do not think it's very good this format. I do like drawing too. I do like popping too. But I do not like popping a deck that goes off by cards being destroyed. We have Proskinian. Proskinian being able to quick effect banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard. That's from the extra deck. So that's their IP. That's their target for Promethean Princess. Just being able to banish those cards so they can't get them back, or even so, special summon it to your side of the field, because it's either or. You can pick one or the other. It's very nice. And when it attacks a monster and destroys it, it inflicts damage equal to the higher defense or attack. So it's very good for going for game. And it's an easy summon, because you can either use it off Super Poly or use it off a Grand Canol. So both of those options are available. I think it's a very good card. Shout out Galzo. He mentioned it right as I was thinking about putting it in there. And another one he mentioned was Mysterion, the Dragon Crown.
I seen you pick him up the other day.
I had him, but I had the lower rarity. This card banishes monsters of the same attribute of a monster that's special summoned by its effect. So the what's the Fire King one? Is it Ponix?
The little birdie?
The little birdie?
Ponix.
Yeah, it will summon at some point, and then you banish all the other ones it has. Or you go to Snake Eye matchup, and they summon the little Pyro guy, little tiny one, and banish the rest of them. So being able to get rid of a lot of those cards, a lot of people don't like to see this, and a lot of people don't know what to do about it. It does start with 3,000 attack and loses as you have more cards banished.
Yeah.
But you're not using it for its attack effect, you're using it for the banish effect.
Yeah.
And it's an easy monster to make. It's 1 spellcaster, 1 dragon. That's Grand Canol. So if you don't want to make your Grand Canol, make him, and he will serve a great purpose. But hey, undefeated today.
Undefeated, bro.
The matchups were
Labyrinth.
We went against Manadium. We went against Snake Eyes, and we went against Centurion. So
Yeah, you had a tough battle today.
I
You
did.
didn't
It was
have.
fighting uphill, but like we said, branded Despia. Best deck in the format right now. Slept on. It is perfect time to play branded. If you ever want to play the branded deck, pick it up right now because people are not playing Ash.
Hey.
People are not playing Ash. It's great, bro.
Donate me a Quem if y'all hear this.
Yeah. Donate me a Quem because I want all of them, especially a Starlight.
But shit, bro. Thanks, bro. I'm sorry I ain't got the tripod, but you know.
I appreciate you just having me on here. Like I said, we out here rocking like stockings, baby. It's been a minute since I got the first place. It's been close. It's been second, third, fourth. But finally, in the crazy tier 0 format, Brandon takes first place.
Shit, thanks again, Byron.
Thank you, bro.
Shit, bro. Team C4 out.
Head blind and said I'm Super Saiyan, but who was that claiming? Okay, lyrically I'm